Party Popper lets GOO. Coco Gauff shocks the world in Wuhan final. Flex bicep medium dark skin tone trophy fire. Team USA's rising star. The neon lights of Wuhan glimmered, but inside the Michelob Ultra Arena, all eyes were fixed on one name, Coco Gauff. The American teenager-turned phenom had already carved a path through the tournament like a lightning strike, precise, relentless, and dazzling. As she stepped onto hard court for the Wuhan Open final, fans erupted in chants. Let's GOO. Coco. Coco. But Coco's gaze was calm, measured. No theatrics, no unnecessary movements. Her composure spoke louder than the roar of the crowd. Across the net stood Jasmine Paolini, Italy's fiery star, whose journey to the final mirrored Coco's in grit and determination. But tonight, it wasn't just a match. It was a statement, a defining moment in the rise of Team USA's next big tennis icon. From teen prodigy to WTA titan, Coco Gauff's journey began under bright lights long before she reached Wuhan. She stunned the tennis world at Wimbledon 2019, defeating Venus Williams in her very first main draw match at just 15 years old. From that moment, the narrative of young American prodigy shifted into one of rapidly maturing elite athlete. Over the next 6 years, Gauff's growth wasn't just in skill, but in mental fortitude. While many young talents stumbled under the weight of expectation, she refined her game, expanded her forehand, sharpening her serve, and developing an almost instinctive court sense that rivals seasoned veterans. It's amazing to watch her evolve, said Brad Gilbert, Gauff's longtime coach. She's no longer chasing others' shadows. She's defining her own path. Her record in 2025, leading into Wuhan, reflected that evolution. WTA 1000 finals reached, 4 wins, 53, losses, 9. Hard court dominance. 17-match win streak entering the final. This wasn't a flash in the pan. It was a player in full ascent, quietly rewriting the narrative of women's tennis. The road to Wuhan. The Wuhan Open's path to glory was anything but simple. Coco faced multiple high-ranked opponents before even reaching the final. Round 2, Devjong Shuai, 6-2, 6-3. Round 3, Def Laura Siegemund, 6-0, 6-3. Quarterfinal, Def Jessica Pegula, 7-5, 6-4. Semifinal, Def Aryna Sabalenka, 6-4, 7-6. Each match showcased a different layer of her game. Against Pegula, Coco displayed mental toughness, saving 3 break points in a pivotal 5th game. Against Sabalenka, she showed strategic versatility, blending aggressive baseline play with surgical net approaches. By the time she reached the final, analysts were unanimous. Coco Gauff wasn't just a rising star, she was a force of nature. The finalists face off. Jasmine Paolini arrived in the final as the underdog, but her campaign had been no less impressive. Known for her aggressive baseline play and impeccable footwork, she had already toppled several top 10 players to reach this stage. For Paolini, the final represented Italy's chance to shine on the WTA 1000 stage. For Gauff, it was a test of consistency under pressure and the final proving ground of her 2025 campaign. The contrast between the two players was clear. Paolini, fiery, reactive, impulsive. Gauff, calm, deliberate, precise. Coco's calm is dangerous. Paolini said before the match, she doesn't just play tennis, she controls the game. It was a battle of fire versus focus, energy versus composure. The opening set. The first set began with both players probing the other's weaknesses. Paolini attacked Coco's backhand, attempting sharp angles and sudden shifts. Coco responded with consistent depth and lateral coverage, keeping Paolini stretched across the baseline. Midway through the set, a rally lasting 18 shots defined the tone. Coco slid, lunged, and countered Paolini's aggressive forehand with precise cross-court winner. The Italian raced back, attempting a drop shot, only for Coco to anticipate, sprint forward, and execute a perfectly timed volley. The crowd erupted. The scoreboard showed 4-3 in favor of Coco, but the true story was a command over tempo. By the end of the set, she closed at 6-4, breaking Paolini's serve at the critical 9th game. Calm under fire. The second set was where Coco's trademark composure became undeniable. Paolini came out swinging, breaking serve early to lead 2-1. But Coco's calmness wasn't just demeanor, it was strategy. She adapted her serve placement, targeted Paolini's weaker backhand, and mixed in drop shots that forced the Italian into awkward positions. By 4-2, the momentum had shifted. Coco's unforced errors remained low, her first serve percentage high, and her footwork impeccable. Each point seemed calculated, the hallmark of a player whose mental evolution had matured fully. She's like watching a masterclass in composure, commented ESPN analyst Mary Jo Fernandez. Every movement, every shot feels intentional. Key stats. Coco's final performance was a statistical marvel. She didn't just win. She dominated efficiently, converting pressure into precision. The numbers underscored what everyone watching could see. Coco's calm approach translated directly into championship-level tennis. The championship point. The final game of the second set was a study in tension and focus. At 5-2, Coco had championship point. The rally stretched to 14 shots. Paolini attempted to force an error with a sharp cross-court forehand. Coco anticipated, countered with a deep backhand down the line, and finished with a crisp forehand volley. The ball bounced. Game. Match. Title. Coco didn't scream. She didn't collapse. She simply raised her arms and acknowledged the crowd, calm, collected, victorious. Winning isn't about fireworks, she said post-match. It's about doing what you've trained for consistently, calmly, confidently. Legacy in motion. This Wuhan Open victory marked Gauff's fourth WTA 1000 title, making her one of the youngest Americans to reach such a milestone. Her 10th career title, solidifying her position as a mainstay in the top 5 rankings. Another step toward world number 1, proving she can maintain peak performance under high-pressure situations. Comparisons to Serena and Venus Williams are inevitable, but Coco's journey is distinct. Less flamboyant, more strategic, deeply calculated, a reflection of her modern, disciplined approach to tennis. Off-court influence. Coco's impact extends beyond the court. As a Team USA ambassador, she inspires young athletes, advocates for mental health, and emphasizes education and resilience. Fans and media reaction. Immediately after the final, social media exploded. Coco Gauff, smiling face with sunglasses trophy, hashtag Wuhan Open, Team USA's queen, calm, collected, unstoppable. She's the future of women's tennis, mark my words. Media outlets across the globe highlighted her performance not just as a victory, but as proof of her evolution into a complete athlete. Coco Gauff is redefining what it means to dominate without chaos, wrote the New York Times sports section. Quotes from the final. Coco Gauff, I stayed focused, trusted my training, and played point by point. That's what calm looks like. Jasmine Paolini, Coco didn't just play. She controlled every moment. You have to respect that. Brad Gilbert, coach, this is a Coco who can go all the way mentally, physically, emotionally. What this means for Team USA. Gauff's Wuhan victory strengthens her position as Team USA's brightest rising star, carrying the torch of American dominance on the WTA Tour. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next time.